All right. Welcome to another episode of the J1S Boys Podcast. Today is Sunday, February 21st, 2021. It is your man D Jones, aka Mr. February.
And I'm Captain Elite, aka The Elite. Just hey man, let me just break off into the show. Give you a shout out, man. Happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday.
Appreciate it.
30 years old this guy is. Learned a lot, ain't you? 30 years. Hope you have.
Yeah.
All I can do is tell you, man, just get better at what you're doing. Learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. Happy, proud father that you are. Two beautiful twin daughters.
Yeah.
Carmen and Kamira.
Juicy and Juicy J.
Yeah. Definitely something to live for. But, again, happy birthday to you, man. 30 years. Get at least minimum 30 more. Hopefully way more than that, but
hopefully.
Just keep going, man. Proud of you. Love you. Let's get into the show.
All right. We're talking about the WWE Elimination Chamber. We're only 15 hours away from the chamber kicking off. So far, the whole card looks like there's definitely 5, possibly 6 matches. First match, I'm not sure if they're going to show up in this order on the pay-per-view, but the 5 matches are the U.S. title match, where the champion Bobby Lashley goes against Riddle and also Keith Lee in a triple threat. The second match is the WWE Championship Match, where Drew McIntyre, the champion, defends his championship in the Elimination Chamber against Sheamus, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, and Kofi Kingston. The third match is the Universal Championship No. 1 Contender Elimination Chamber match, where Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn versus Cesaro versus King Corbin will take place. The winner of that match will go on to face Roman Reigns in the same night for the Universal Championship. That is the other match. And then the next match will be the WWE Women's Tag Team Titles match, where champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler take on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And the final match that is up in air is the WWE Women's Raw Championship match, where champion Asuka will take on a to-be-announced opponent. Originally, she was supposed to take on Lacey Evans, but the storyline here, and I'm not sure if she really is in real life.
She is.
In real life, she's pregnant.
They went.
Okay.
I was worried. I was worried when I watched that unfold on TV. I was worried about. I said, "Oh my,
I was hoping that storyline was not going to go down."
She is really pregnant in real life. They just went with the Nature Boy father angle. I'm not sure why. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I was worried when it first unfolded. Man, I was sitting back. I was like, "Oh my gosh." But she is pregnant in real life.
Okay.
But we'll get to Asuka's potential opponent.
We can go ahead and talk about that now while we're there. I mean, with Lacey Evans being out because she's truly pregnant, I don't see them inserting Charlotte Flair in there as far as her opponent, because her and Asuka and Charlotte hold the tag team titles. No, I'm sorry. They lost them. I'm sorry. They could throw Charlotte in there.
Charlotte is probably going to get thrown in there. I don't know if she'll win at this one. Not sure what the end game is for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is usually always the bigger match, because they fought before when Asuka first came up. They fought at WrestleMania. Matter of fact, she first came up. Didn't she win the Rumble and then she lost to?
She definitely won the Rumble.
Her and Nakamura went in the same year, did they not?
I believe so.
Ronda Rousey comes out and points. at the end of that match, and she ends up going against who was the champ at the time? Was that Becky Lynch and Charlotte the champs? Like Charlotte was SmackDown champ and Becky Lynch was Raw.
May have been.
Not really sure. I can't remember why. Anyways, that whole Ronda Rousey situation came up, but as far as Asuka and her opponent for it could, my first guess would probably be Charlotte.
Yeah.
A surprise dark horse, maybe Rhea Ripley. They pull up and but to give her a title shot immediately like that, I'm not a fan of that.
Do you think they possibly pull the trigger if she's cleared for performance and ready to come back?
Becky Lynch?
Yeah. I feel that they should wait for that after Mania, but there's a possible chance that because of this situation that they pull that trigger and pull her in there if she's cleared and ready to come back.
It'd be interesting if they took that angle because Becky Lynch was the one that handed it to Asuka.
Yeah.
That night. Like it'd be like a full circle kind of thing. Becky Lynch comes back. I think she should probably come back heel. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Like,
I think she should come back as far as the whole gimmick of the man.
The man, you think she should keep that?
Yeah, for a little bit longer.
We'll see how that goes. But as far as Elimination Chamber, man, the two main matches. They've gotten in the habit where a championship match, because they have the luxury of having two of them. One of the championship matches typically ends up being first in the beginning of the show.
The universal one I see kicking off the show.
For the simple fact that the guy has to fight twice.
Yeah.
So,
but I could also see them playing to the favor of Roman Reigns and
fighting right after,
immediately after, raising the chamber and it being a regular match.
That would be such a Roman Reigns move.
And I honestly see that happening as conniving and strategic as they have been. They
could probably play it that role that way. Not sure what the end game is of the winner of that one would be, because that winner would pretty much be, because after watching SmackDown, it does seem like Edge is on the trajectory of choosing Roman Reigns as his opponent. So the winner of that chamber match for the SmackDown
is going to take an L immediately.
Yeah, it's almost. I don't really see Jey Uso winning it. Kevin can't win it. Like, put him once again against. If Kevin wins it again and goes against Roman Reigns, and possibly that would be booking Kevin super strong, which is fine for me. But at this point, you definitely have to bring in Jimmy Uso to be the deciding factor and go ahead and make that bloodline full. Like, when are you going to do that? Is it going to be the night after Mania? Who knows when they're going to pull that trigger on the bloodline faction? But looking at the participants in the SmackDown chamber, who do you see possibly standing tall and then going again later in the night or moments after the match to put up some kind of a fight against Roman? Who do you see possibly doing that? Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
So you're possibly how is that? I mean,
someone who could put up a fight in the chamber and then go on to another match, put up a semi-decent fight, allowing the fans to feed into it, and then taking that L. The only person I can see that is Daniel Bryan, because his resume is good enough to where he can go on and do that performance and he'll be fine. Cesaro has not had a singles title push, and I don't know when.
He's in the chamber?
He's in the chamber.
So why not him win?
Because he's going to be losing immediately. I mean, don't give him the chamber victory and then, you're here, take this L immediately.
So whoever you give the chamber victory to, you're immediately giving them the loss to. So
and I feel Daniel Bryan's resume can handle that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how they play that one out. That one's going to be a tricky one to do, for the simple fact of there's a part 1 and a part 2 of that match, and it's supposed to happen in the same night. So we'll see how that one goes. Going back to the U.S. title match, I think this could be about the time where
Yeah, I think Riddle will walk away with it because Lashley's been going off the hinges the last 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, he has been.
So
every time you see Riddle, he's getting.
yeah, last month or so, Riddle's been getting choked out by Lashley.
Yeah, and I think the addition of Keith Lee will.
As if he even wrestles, because he's been it is a rumor that he could be either replaced or just pulled from the match entirety if he's not cleared to wrestle.
He's injured?
I'm not sure if it's injury or if it's illness.
I didn't know.
We all know he's engaged or married to Mia Yim, and recently, late last month, she tested positive for COVID.
Oh man!
So I don't think, but I'm not sure if it's COVID that Keith Lee is possibly dealing with or anything like that. But there's been rumors that he could either be pulled or replaced, and that may change the outcome of the match if he's participating or not. But ultimately, I feel this is Riddle's match to go ahead and gain the U.S. title.
He's due. He's like I say, he's been getting you mentioned earlier, like he's been getting pretty worked over the last few weeks. He's due for a win. If Lashley loses this, do you see any kind of scenario where he might take out someone in the Raw chamber and take their spot and maybe walk out of that thing as the champion? But at this point, if you made a change like that for him to be champion for going into WrestleMania, like I have no clue what the end game would be there. But any chance anybody pulls an edge, so to speak, and take someone out and then take their spot in there.
If anybody does it, it'll be Lashley who does it, especially with the way he's been going off the hinges the last couple of weeks. If he does it to anybody within the Raw Chamber match, you got McIntyre, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Orton, Jeff Hardy, and Kofi Kingston. Sadly, I feel Kofi Kingston's going to be facing that fate once again because it was done to him years ago by Edge. Edge, as Kofi Kingston was entering the chamber, Edge came out, jumped Kofi Kingston, and entered himself into that chamber.
Classic moment.
And went on to win that chamber,
right.
if I'm not mistaken.
He went on to win that chamber and win the title.
So I think Kofi Kingston's going to be facing that fate possibly again if Lashley does go that route of entering himself in the Raw chamber match. But if he does not enter himself, as far as the contestants in the Raw chamber match, with the title on the line, do you see McIntyre retaining or do you see someone walking out the new WWE World Champion?
Ultimately, I probably see him retaining. As I look at the list, I do like a process of elimination. I think the Fiend will come back and set up that fight with Orton. So if that eliminates Orton out of there, I don't see Jeff Hardy, them putting the title on Jeff Hardy or Kofi at this time. Sheamus may get I think there's one more pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Fastlane.
Sheamus may get one more shot at him. I don't think it'll be him this time, him or AJ. So I do think McIntyre walks out of it with the belt. And then, like I said, you'll have the Orton Fiend set up, I believe, coming. As far as everyone else, not really sure their as far as like how they'll be eliminated or who they'll be eliminated by, but I just don't see Sheamus or AJ coming out of it with already, like I said, I got Orton and Fiend being set up out of that match, so that eliminates Orton. I really don't think Jeff will come out or Kingston. So the two my two picks that you could possibly put the belt on would be AJ or Sheamus. I still don't think either one of those get it. I think you go Drew one more time. One question here: do we get a return of Brock Lesnar going into WrestleMania, or is that a night after kind of thing?
No.
No Brock Lesnar.
Not before Mania.
I just feel like Vince gets in a state where like as the ratings continue to dip, and I just feel like he gets in a state of I'm all in, or I need a shot of something, like a shot of energy, a boost of energy. Brock has always been able to do that for the company. As soon as he comes back, it's all eyes on Brock. What is he gonna do? Like he shoot that I'm not. I think it was the last Money in the Bank, or the second to last one that we just had for the men's. No, it was the second. The last one, Otis won. The one before that, Brock. Like to have a shot, an injection into the company. They waited till the match was over, and then Brock was the last participant to come in there and win the belt. Like,
yeah,
one, he wasn't ever going to be in a match like that to take any kind of bump. So like, and then his surprise entrant was just enough to like it was shock value, and it adds shock value. That's why I asked you, like, do you think something's big? You have to feel like something like they've got to go do something. Something's big's going to happen out of this entire pay-per-view. And I think actually where I think I'm saying that now that I say that out loud, I just gave myself the answer. I think it's the Fiend. I think the Fiend will return and be the shock value.
He'll screw Randy Orton.
Coming out of the bottom of the cage.
Yeah,
like coming from the depths of hell. Like he was burned to hell on was it Armageddon? No, it wasn't Armageddon. It was the last pay-per-view they had in December.
Can't remember what
Orton set the Fiend ablaze. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to come back from the depths of hell, so to speak, and set that match up. That would be the shock value for the entire show.
Yeah. And then lastly, we got the women's tag team title match. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, the champions, versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Sasha Banks currently the SmackDown Women's Champion. Bianca Belair coming off a Women's Royal Rumble victory, and she has her choice of going against whatever Women's Champion she chooses, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. And you also have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who are the champions, defending their titles. Nia Jax and Shayna have been rocking with each other for a good little minute now. I didn't realize it. It's been a hot little minute. And they click seemingly well. They make a nice little tag team. But I feel like for some reason WWE is going to go with the storyline of giving the women's champion a SmackDown tag title again, the same way Bayley and Sasha had it.
Really? Then they dropped the titles?
Yeah. I think Jax and Baszler dropped the titles, and Sasha and Bianca. I don't want to.
So tag team champions versus each other at WrestleMania.
I can see that. Yeah, be nice. Nice little storyline.
Yeah, nice little storyline. But the girl, Shayna and Nia just won them.
But they recently, like before they won them, they kind of just dropped them as well. So I feel like that's a tag team that you could almost rotate in and out to, oh goodness, they're in the title picture again type of scenario. But I see Sasha and Bianca gaining the titles at Chamber.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. See how it all unfolds. Here, like you said, 14 hours away. We'll see how it unfolds. Steady as they keep trying to get the viewership back up. Hopefully maybe the Fiend, the potential predicted return of the Fiend from us. Maybe that will be just what the company needs, but we'll see. We'll see even if the Fiend even returns. But I don't see how you don't go ahead and set the stage for that, and because the next few weeks, mind games leading into WrestleMania, and the type of match that they could truly have, you feel like this next match for them at WrestleMania would almost be perhaps a cinematic match and or the last feather in the hat kind of match. Like this is the final battle kind of thing, because they've been going at it for some time now, and it's been a long time coming. Like this whole storyline been set up years ago when they worked together as a team, and then like he turned his back on him and burned up the cabin. So this whole storyline has come full circle now. Like I think WrestleMania could probably be the culmination of that, and I think tonight, I should say, would be the start of making that come true. But as far as the rest of the card, we'll see how it all turns out. Who will come out the U.S. champion? Who will come out the WWE? Like, who's going to come out? All the champions. There's going to be the Fiend return. Who's going to face Roman Reigns in that Part 2 match? All the Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax going to drop the titles. Who is Asuka's going to face? A lot of questions going into Elimination Chamber. Hopefully, once the dust clears, we will be going over everything as it happens and see what kind of answers we come up with.
All right, before we sign off, quick predictions, quick runoff. I'm going to give you the match. You know who's in it. Just tell me who's going to win it. U.S. title match.
I still say Riddle walks out.
WWE Championship match.
I'm going to stick with McIntyre.
Universal number one contender championship match.
Number one contender match? That's a tricky one. I don't want to go Daniel Bryan, but I think he's just about the only one that makes.
4.
We'll go Daniel Bryan, man. We'll put Daniel Bryan down.
Okay, Daniel Bryan goes against Roman Reigns. Who wins that?
Roman Reigns.
The WWE Women's Tag Team Title Championship match.
Tag titles, I see Shayna and Nia retaining.
If the Raw Women's Championship match takes place, who is Asuka going against and who is winning?
That's a tough one. Man. I guess I'll go Charlotte, man. I'll go Charlotte.
I'm gonna go Matt Riddle winning the U.S. title match. AJ Styles winning the WWE Championship match. Daniel Bryan winning the number one contender match. Roman Reigns retaining his championship against Daniel Bryan. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair winning the tag titles. And then I'm going to go wild card that Asuka's going to end up going against Lana. And Lana wins.
Wow. Lana, Women's World Champion. What a storyline that would be. She's come a long way. She's paid dues. Definitely paid dues. That's definitely a dark horse pick. And if that were to happen, your name would be etched in stone as one of the great predictors.
All right, that's another episode of the J1S Boys podcast. We're out.
Peace out.